Okay, so this is Newsela, and this is going to be just a quick overview of what you can get for free from Newsela. My name is Karen Contreras. I'm an English teacher at Jameswood High School, and my information will be on the little presentation that you use to access this video. So just feel free to email me if you have any questions. Okay, so Newsela, it's been around for a while. I've used it for at least 5 years. I'm very pleased with it. I've never paid anything for it. So I'm going to give you some workarounds and things like that. So basically what it does is it takes news articles, puts them on 5 different reading levels, and you can assign it to students to read, and they provide quizzes and things like that. Now, if you don't have the paid subscription, then you can't get the results of how your kids did on the quizzes or how long it took them to read and stuff like that. But we don't need that. It's okay. It would be nice to have, but we can definitely work with what they give us. Also, paid subscription sometimes doesn't have like the arts and science and health. Like it won't have the archived articles, but it'll have current stuff. So especially, if you're uh, teaching history class and you're talking about the electoral process and things like that, everybody's talking about the new running mate and how they got picked and, when we're going to vote and stuff. So they'll have timely articles that you can select on that. I find a lot of kids, they have a lot of questions. They hear little snippets here and there about issues that we as adults are excited about or nervous about. And these articles do a good job of, just presenting information, mostly in an unbiased way. It'll normally have both sides of the story. And if it is an opinion, it generally states that it's an opinion. So it really helps the kids' literacy skills. And it's a good way to take something, a concept or a process that you are teaching about in your class and giving the kids a real life example of what that looks like in the real world. So anyway, so you have things you can choose from over here. The sports category is really a fun one. I always put something in about the World Series or the what do you call it, Super Bowl. I'm not a sports person, but the kids really like that. And anyway, so we're going to look at an article here, seals with hats. So we're going to click on it, and this will be what the students will see for the most part. Sometimes Newsela is a little slow. It's okay. It's just a chance to get a drink of coffee or something like that. So, I mean, who doesn't want to read about seals and hats, really, And if you can work in some information about climate data and things like that and how science works, go for it. So you have this article, and you can see down here it's on the 6th grade level, and it's at the highest level that this article comes in. Now, other articles come in at college level, 12th grade level, some they max out at 9th grade, but there are different levels for each article. So let's say we're going to go down to the bottom. So what's the bottom? Level 2. Okay. So if you have a kid in 1st grade, they're not going to probably be able to read this on their own. So you have some options there. Oh, isn't that kind of disturbing and cute at the same time? You could assign the article. You click assign, and it works with Google Classroom and all that, and have the student read it with a parent. It's always good to get parents and students reading together, or for independent reading, or for students that might need more support in the upper levels, it will read it to you. And it's going to sound like the female version of Max Headroom. Here we go.
Seals with tech hats are collecting climate data in the Antarctic. By Smith. So
I guess it's more like Siri or Alexa. But anyway, so it will actually read the article to the student if they click on that, if they need that support. And it's a new feature, and I think a very good feature for certain students who need that support. Anyway, also, some of these articles, and not this one, but you can assign it in Spanish. So if you have a student who does not know English but speaks Spanish, and you've been teaching them about a concept, and you could give them an article in Spanish um, that goes along with what you're teaching. Like I had some students in World History 1 last year, and they were learning about Egypt, and I gave my students for that assignment um, an article in Spanish about Egypt. And so that way it kind of gives them an extra support as well. Um, so uh, I think that, oh, one more thing on the website, you can go to activities and they have like a little, and it can be kind of generic, like writing prompt, but they also have quizzes. And in order to find out how your students do, you have to subscribe. But I take the quizzes, and there are 4 questions for each one, and I copy them and paste them into a Google form and use it that way. And these are really good. They follow the language standards and that sort of thing. And then you can make up your own questions too if you do it in a Google form. So I'm going to quickly just show you how I've used this in the class. And I've used this as like we read together an article and we model and practice thinking before we read and during we read and after we read. You guys have all had that class when you're becoming teachers, so we know what that is. I'll sometimes assign articles that go with certain books. I'll use that especially with my 11th graders. And you can even search up here for text sets, and those are articles that go with specific books. And it's not just high school books that they have there. I've seen a lot of middle school books on there. So you can use that. And so without further ado, I'll show you what I do as routine in my class. Every 2 weeks, my students get a bingo card, and they have to make bingo. And I make this in Google Draw. And I put the pictures from the articles in here, and I generally have little categories for each letter. And they don't have to go in a row or up and down or, diagonal. It's just they have to read 5 of the articles and answer the quizzes with each one. So, like for this one, and I had like asked the students what they were curious in reading about. And this particular bingo doesn't have it, but cars for my 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds really comes up a lot. So I get a lot of auto articles. But so this one, a lot of them said they liked history. So I generally have a history or science category that goes with what they're learning about at the time. And they were learning about Greece and democracy at the time. So that one's all about Greece. This one's about animals that work. Um, Teens and technology. My kids love reading about tech. Um, this one, my kids, a lot of them put down that they wanted to learn about guns. So there's like a pro and con of gun control here, about kids in other countries, like in war torn areas, about how they are affected by toy guns and things like that. Um, Gun sales. This one's about the Gatling gun, how it came into being. And then this one was all about hunting. It was in the fall, so there we go. I always let them have some bonus articles that they can choose from. And of course, like here, for this card, the Nationals won the World Series, so they had an article on that. So when they click on these, they get, hope this pops up more quickly this time. So if they choose on the hunting, there's one about young ladies hunting. And they don't, theirs doesn't open up in Cami. I just did that for this presentation, but they can read it there. Now, this doesn't have the support if you do it as a PDF, okay? But you could just um, uh, like have them read it in um, Newsela, and that would be fine too. But I like to have it linked right to a PDF. And that was before they had the read aloud, so I might change my thing a little bit because of that. Okay, and so then here they have a quiz, and I always copy the picture so they know they're taking the right quiz. And And then I just used the 4 questions from the quiz that they had. And then I have them always do a paragraph. And this one is like explain what young people, boys or girls, can gain from outdoor experiences like those discussed in this article. And they take the quiz, and then I can, look at the Google Sheets that comes out of this and grade everybody's work and give them feedback and all of that. So um, that's how I use Newsela. I hope I didn't leave anything out. Like I said, my information is on the slide that you used to get to this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.